Oh man, welcome back to another video, guys. Bitcoin holding up pretty well here, sitting at 26.5. But the question of the day is there enough bullish momentum in this latest move to prevent a move to the downside and to work our way up to the next key level of resistance? In this video, I'm going to break down those key levels, what to watch out for, because there is a huge alarming warning which we have to look for to the downside. Yes, guys, if you guys are interested in a private trading group, you guys have been asking for it in the Telegram, in the Discord. We will be getting the ball rolling in motion to get that set up for you guys. Make sure you're in my Telegram, ijaz.uk/TG. Get yourself registered because I'm going to go through the order list. I'm going to onboard in batches of 10, and if you're not in the list, you're not going to get an invite to join. So if you want private signals trading with spot profit returns, no pump and dumps, no unethical trading, no leverage, no margin, just simple doing it slowly and the right way, which is the way I built my wealth, then check that out. Links in the description to our Telegram. You'll find out all the information in there. Now, as you can see here, Bitcoin, nice move here, right? Done really well. We spoke about it yesterday. It needed to bounce from this 26.2 orange line. It did that. It's done that with good strength, and it's reclaimed the 4-hourly EMA ribbon. But the question is, can we go and work our way now up here to these levels, right? The yellow line there at the top of the screen, 27.6, is the next key level of resistance. And so whilst we sit nicely above our EMA ribbon, there's going to be a lot of downward pressure, which the bulls will have to overcome. I mean, you can clearly see here, we had big volume on this candlestick and got thrown straight back down. So the question is going to be, are we going to be thrown straight back down to 26.2, or can we accumulate above the EMA ribbon, hold above it for a while, and try mount an attack? If I zoom out a little bit, you're seeing what the situation is. When we have this move now on Bitcoin, we've officially posted what is known as a higher low. If you've taken my TA course, ijaz.uk/TA, you guys will know that to create an uptrend, you need higher lows and higher highs accompanying those. If you don't have those, you're going to fizzle out and you get what is known as a reversal pattern, right? You can have a double top pattern, you can have all sorts, and you can start reversing the trend to the downside. And these are the telltale signs, along with the different candlestick patterns which we look out for. Again, we go through all of it, ijaz.uk/TA. You'll start to not notice patterns. So the immediate pattern I want to share with you first and foremost is the fact that we do indeed have a low and a higher low. Fantastic. We have a high. What do we now need, guys? We need a higher high, right? In order for this move to last, we have to have this piece here. This leg needs to happen, and it needs to get higher than the previous peak, which is here, right? It has to beat that peak. Otherwise, we don't have an upward trend. So whatever this bounce is here is great because we got a higher low, but it cannot just fizzle out like this. That's then a worrying pattern. Then you have an inverse Adam and Eve pattern, right? That's a bearish pattern to the downside. If you go back up to exactly the same level and get rejected, you've now created a double top pattern, which is also known as an M pattern. That's a reversal pattern to the downside. So it's not enough for us to do this. We've got to do more and get past, in my opinion, 27.6 to have any meaningful movement here to the upside. Now, what else do I notice that's alarming me slightly here? Because obviously I'm enjoying the pump, but we always have to be a devil's advocate. We have to look at what's the other side of the story that could tell us that this pump might not last. And it doesn't mean we're a perma bear or anything like that. You guys know I'm locked and loaded. I'm in the market. If it's green, fantastic. But I want to know where is the market heading. So that way, if I want to DCA some more, I can be like, okay, guys, it's still looking quite weak out there. And look, if you look at this daily chart in front of you here, what do you notice? The last 2 days have been nice. I mean, yesterday was particularly crazy with the volatile wick to the upside, but 2 strong green candles. But it's expected, right? We're just running into our EMA ribbon. But who holds the trend? The trend is clearly, unless you need contact lenses or glasses, like this is clearly a bearish trend. Look how extended this EMA ribbon is. There's nothing here proving that we've taken this trend back on the daily time frame. Now, of course, I just showed you on the 4-hourly time frame, good. We're above the EMA ribbon, we're closing above it, that's good. But you've got to stay above it. And if you can stay above the 4-hourly EMA ribbon, after some time, you'll reclaim your daily EMA ribbon. But at the moment, I cannot give that trend to the bulls, right? The bulls have just had a little bit of movement, just like they did here. Look at that. They had 4 days here, then 2 days off, 2 days strong again, and then still came back down, right? So you've got to let it play out. You've got to see enough bullish movement here by Bitcoin that it's got to get above its EMA ribbon. Get above the EMA ribbon, hold above it, and then I become more excited on the daily time frame. So if you want to look at the key level, what is that level? The level where you get the EMA ribbon back is 27,000 really. So a daily close above 27,000 and we reclaim our EMA ribbon. Even that wouldn't get you out of the woods, right? If you look at this, we reclaimed our EMA ribbon and straight the next 2 days we dumped after it. So I'd want to close above the EMA ribbon. Then I'd want to wait for what is known as a candlestick close or confirmation. Okay, confirmation is really important. So you want to see the candle close and another candle open up thereafter, which gives you that confirmation. Again, we go through all of this. Ijaz.uk/TA. You cannot not afford to learn through that stuff, guys. I learned it through traditional finance over 10 years. You're going to get it in one structured curriculum. No messing around on YouTube, listening to people, who learnt TA in their bedroom over the last 2 weeks and suddenly they're teaching you. No. Worked in an investment bank, did this with stocks and equities and interest rate swaps and all kinds of other, complex derivatives, and now applying that same thing to crypto as well. So check that out. So that's the daily chart, right? We can see that. Then I want to zoom up and we start looking at the weekly time frame. And it's on this time frame that you start to really get a grasp of what's going on. And that is that we're still below this powerful long-term weekly time frame. Remember, the higher the time frame you go, the more weight you have to give to what you're seeing. So the weekly time frame, the daily time frame, two of the bigger time frames are showing us bearish situation. The 4 hourly is looking nice and bullish, which is why we're seeing a good intraday today, fine. But I want to know what's going to happen over days and weeks, right? And that's where you start to see that we are getting rejected from this EMA ribbon. We're struggling to break through into it. Like, we need a nice powerful candle breaking into the ribbon. We're just below it. The whole body of this candle is below the EMA ribbon. We're not close, right? The EMA ribbon here on the weekly time frame starts circa this point here, which is about 26.7, all the way to reclaiming the EMA ribbon at 27.2. And that ties in nicely with what we're trying to say. Get to 27.2, weekly close above it, open up another candlestick, and then things get exciting. But we've got to take it step by step, right? I mean, if we take a look at what we've got here on Bitcoin, you guys know that the main thing we're focused on here is avoiding this big breakdown. You guys know we broke down from this channel, which I was monitoring with you guys. This was the channel we're in, and we broke down. And when you break down from a channel, what's the first point you start to look at? You look to the left, you see the pivot point, right? So we saw that, and we met that price target, 24.8. It hit it on this weekly candle here in August. Then we kind of bouncing here, but not bouncing with vengeance, right? It's not like we just did this. This would be much more of a nicer bounce. It's really moving here, and obviously even better if it keeps going and moving past this peak here. But we're not. We're kind of meandering, and that's where I'm worried about it. And that's exactly what I'm feeling in this market right now. I'm seeing a lot of meandering and less kind of strength in movement. And that makes sense, because when you look at the wider markets, you look at what's going on, you can see that markets are still tentative, right? Coinbase receives regulatory approval to list perpetual trading to users outside of the US. That's the Bermuda regulator has approved that. Gary Gensler yesterday at Congress at his hearing continued to throw punches at the congressional hearing, saying that, there's still crypto's full of hucksters and, commingling of assets is still a problem. He did mention, in fact, however, that Bitcoin is indeed not a security, which is good. Bitcoin, we're quite clear on the stance that it's the other places where we don't have any clarity. But Gensler's meaning business, right? He's delayed the spot ETF again. Chances are he's going to kick that into next year. So that's going to continue to weigh on markets. That, along with the fact that we know that rates are going to be higher for longer, when you sum it all up, leads to the dollar index continuing to show strength. But again, why is it that right now we're seeing Bitcoin do okay? It's because dollar index, even on the weekly candle, it's doing crazy. If you zoom down on the daily, it's still doing okay. It's this day to day here where it's just having a little bit of a cooling off. Okay, so we're on this daily chart, and if we look at the 4 hourly chart, it's had a couple of 4 hourly candles here to the downside. Bitcoin is just taking advantage of it. So it's a sensible move that dollar index moving to the downside, cooling off, and Bitcoin's doing well. But like I just showed you through this video, Bitcoin's running into its EMA ribbon looking to get rejected, whereas if you compare that to the dollar index, it's just cooling off and going to retest its EMA ribbon before trying to bounce here to the upside. So the bias is positive for the dollar index and it's negative for crypto. So any pumps I'm seeing, I'm facing them with the understanding that if I'm going to trade it, I'm going to trade in and out quickly with my take profits and my stop losses, but equally looking for dips for my long-term bags to see if I can get some nice bags topped up if we pull back to those price points around 24.8, 25K. Hopefully you guys appreciate these updates regardless of if I'm traveling or not. Just want to give you the points concisely in a timely manner. If you appreciate that, smash up the likes. Don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you register our interest for the trading signals group. You're going to make some insane returns, guys, in that group. Charles.uk/TG to trade with us, and I'll see you in the next one.